Hello and welcome to Business 360. I am Ashmit Kumar and here are the headlines that we're tracking this evening. Nifty crosses the 26,000 mark for the first time in a choppy trading session. Takes 38 sessions to scale from 25,000 to 26,000. The Sensex too crossed the 85,000 mark for the first time. The Nifty Bank snapped an 8-day winning streak. China's central bank unveils its biggest stimulus measure since the pandemic to revive the Chinese economy, announces policy rate cuts and measures to ease mortgage repayment burden, among others. Asian markets perk up in trade. Indian metal stocks gain in trade. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon says India is doing a lot of right things and he's optimistic about growth prospects. Calls China plus one a great opportunity for India. Adds that India can look at reducing regulations, make it easier to get more FDI. Israel launches fresh airstrikes on southern Lebanon overnight. Targets Hezbollah positions from where rockets were fired towards Israel. Thousands flee their homes in southern Lebanon for safety. Netanyahu says they were changing the security balance along the northern Israel border. Iran says it will not remain indifferent to Israel's crimes. Prime Minister Modi meets Zelensky in New York on the sidelines of a United Nations event, reiterates his support for peaceful resolution of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Zelensky expresses gratitude for India's clear support of our sovereignty and territorial integrity. A Delaware Supreme Court rules in favor of U.S. investors, upholds previous ruling saying that BYJU's defaulted on $1.5 billion loan. This will allow American lenders to take control of EdTech U.S. assets and demand full repayment. However, the company says this order will not impact the legal proceedings in India. Karnataka High Court upholds governor's decision to sanction a probe against Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the alleged Mysore Urban Development Authority scam. The court, while dismissing Siddaramaiah's plea, says that the governor can take independent decisions in exceptional circumstances. 26 seats go to polls in Phase 2 of Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections tomorrow. 239 candidates, including former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, J&K's BJP Chief Ravinder Raina, and J&K Congress President Tariq Hamid Karra in the fray. Well, let's begin with a quick look at the day's market action. The benchmark Nifty touched a record high of 26,000 in trade today in what was a choppy trading session. The 1,000-point rally from 25,000 took the Nifty 38 sessions. The Sensex too crossed the 85,000 mark for the first time. Mid-cap index posted a record close for the third straight session. The Nifty Bank snapped an 8-day winning streak. Hormaz Fatakia is joining us now. Hormaz, take us through the Nifty's journey from 25,000 to 26,000, 38 sessions there.
There was this suspense building up, right? And finally, the mark of 26,000 eventually happening on the financial services expiry day. 38 sessions then from 25 to 26,000. We hit 25 for the first time on the 1st of August. So it's taken 38 trading sessions then. And since then, we've moved. So let's take a look at the top contributors then. And as you were mentioning, right, just a few minutes back about sector rotation taking place and the names that have come up. And this last 1,000 points, of course, have happened from the September of 11 that we have moved higher. Look at this. Bajaj Auto, Shriram Finance, Bharti Airtel, Bajaj Finserv and Hero MotoCorp among the top movers in percentage terms. Yes, Bajaj Auto continuing to move from one high to another, and even Bharti Airtel has come up here, as has Hero MotoCorp. But take a look at the underperformers, and they are the ones that have not participated in this rally. The best performing stock on the Nifty in 2023 is the worst performing stock in this 1,000-point rally. This Tata Motors is down 16%, and the PSUs, the high-flying PSUs, have been featuring in this list of underperformers, be the likes of ONGC and SBI. But a big catalyst of this 1,000-point move has been the rush seen in the banks. The Nifty Bank has been the lead contributor here, and as of closing yesterday, the Nifty Bank was up for 8 days in a row, and 3,000 points is what the index has gained, and that shows up in the Nifty moves as well that we have seen from the 11th of September. And take a look at the big movers in the Nifty Bank as well. An underperforming Bandhan Bank is the top performer in these last 8 sessions from the 11th of September. And look at this, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank, the two big heavyweights on the Nifty Bank, on the Nifty as well, 7% 3% each, and that shows up on the price as well. Interestingly, it was the 1st of August when Nifty hit 25,000, and it was the 1st of August when the PSU index made a near-term top as well. And since then, the PSU index is down almost 6.5 to 7%. And take a look at the top losers here. All the top performers, REC, SAIL, Concord, BHEL, LIC, all of them seeing double-digit losses, and 17 out of the 20 index constituents since the 1st of August have delivered negative returns. The only 3 in the positives are Oil India, NTPC, and HPCL. But it is not the story of the PSU underperformance. Today is the day that belongs to the Nifty, and it's been a large cap move over this last month and a half.
Right, Ramaz, thanks a lot for that. Now, here's some international news. Israel has mounted a fresh offensive against Hezbollah overnight. This comes a day after Israel attacked Lebanon, killing nearly 500 people and injuring over 1,600. The Israeli military has claimed that the airstrikes were carried out over locations with Hezbollah's defense infrastructure. They have also said that the attacks will continue in the near term and have urged Lebanese civilians to evacuate areas situated closer to Hezbollah's military infrastructure or buildings that are being used by the militia group. The Iran-backed militant group also fired a barrage of missiles at Israeli air bases in response to the attacks. Israel has claimed that over 50 projectiles were fired from Lebanon into northern Israel. World leaders and the United States have urged for a de-escalation in this matter. Pentagon has confirmed that the United States is sending a small number of additional troops to the Middle East, given escalating tensions in the region. Turkey has also warned Israel's offensive, adding that this conflict with Lebanon could drag the entire region into chaos. Thousands of civilians have started evacuating parts of southern Lebanon after reports of Hezbollah storing weapons in the region surfaced. Civilians in the region are moving towards northern Lebanon, following Israel's orders. In a televised address, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also said that the country's war is not with Lebanon, but with Hezbollah, and urged the Lebanese to get out of harm's way.
I have a message for the people of Lebanon. Israel's war is not with you. It's with Hezbollah. For too long, Hezbollah has been using you as human shields. It placed rockets in your living rooms and missiles in your garage. Those rockets and missiles are aimed directly at our cities, directly at our citizens. To defend our people against Hezbollah strikes, we must take out those weapons. Now, starting this morning, the IDF has warned you to get out of harm's way. I urge you, take this warning seriously. Don't let Hezbollah endanger your lives and the lives of your loved ones. Don't let Hezbollah endanger Lebanon. Please, get out of harm's way now.
To the parties that are firing at each other across the blue line, to all the parties involved in this conflict, is step back from the brink. Stop the escalation. We have mechanisms through which to address these issues, notably on the security issue through UNIFIL, on the broader political issues through the work of our special coordinators in the region. As we just said, there is no military solution at this point that will make anyone in either country any safer.
The escalation in Lebanon is extremely dangerous and worrying. I was in Lebanon some days before, just before the explosion of these electronic devices has been creating terror among the Lebanese population. The escalation is extremely dangerous and worrying. I can say that we are almost in a full-fledged war.
China's central bank has announced the biggest stimulus measure since the pandemic to boost the Chinese economy. The measures include a cut in its policy rate, a reduction in its required reserve ratio, and relief when it comes to mortgage repayment. The decision triggered China's 10-year bond yield to fall to 2%, which is the first time on record. Well, here's the big exclusive interview of the day. Veteran banker and JP Morgan Chase's global CEO, Jamie Dimon, has said that India is doing a lot of right things and has shown optimism about growth prospects. Speaking to Prashant Nair, Dimon said that China +1 was a huge opportunity for India and other countries. He, however, conceded that it might take years and years for companies to move away from China. He also urged the Indian government to consider reducing regulations, making it easier to attract more foreign direct investments.
America was overly reliant. That's not being angry at them. You should ask why we didn't do it before, but in terms of rare earths, semiconductors, penicillin, ingredients for pharmaceuticals. The second one is around disagreements around policy, like, you know, if countries are aiding and abetting industries to dominate global industry and beggar thy neighbor, well, that's not going to work either. So you're going to have people, you know, they're going to be hard fought. It's not going to cause deglobalization, but it's important that countries do that. And so, and it's just starting. It would take years. The semiconductor, you're talking about 5, 10, 15 years. So even if it's going to take place, it's going to take a long time. But companies are doing it on things like iPhone. I know iPhone production. So some things can move quick. Some will take years. A huge opportunity for India. People call it the China plus one strategy now, that companies that relied solely on China are going to look at India, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, etc. Prime Minister, that odd par program, I think I'm saying that right, the change in the GST, the tax system among the states, national infrastructure, your schools graduating a lot of extremely bright, talented people. Those are the things to do. Reduce regulations. You know, here, you know, regulation and bureaucracy does cripple foreign direct investment. So make it easier for foreign direct investment to come here. And then you have to do industry by industry. But I do think you should be attracting it. It'll help you grow much faster.
You can catch that entire conversation at 5:30 and 10 p.m. on CNBC-TV18. Now, more trouble for BYJU's as the Delaware Supreme Court has upheld a ruling that found the startup in default on its $1.2 billion loan. The ruling allows lenders to seize BYJU's U.S. subsidiary BYJU Alpha and demand full repayment. The $1.2 billion loan was originally extended to BYJU's by a group of 37 financial institutions. BYJU's has maintained that this order will have no bearing on the company's ongoing legal proceedings back home in India. And Punjab National Bank's shares fell in trade after the company QIP offered shares at a discount to its current market price. The PSU lender set a floor price of Rs 109.16 per share for its QIP, which it launched yesterday. This is a 2% discount from the stock's closing price as of yesterday. This placement comes after PNB announced earlier that it plans to raise 5,000 crore rupees. HDFC Bank is reportedly mulling the sale of loan assets worth 60 to 70,000 crore rupees. According to a report by NDTV Profit, the bank hopes the move will reduce its credit deposit ratio, which is currently skewed in favor of outstanding loans. The lender is also looking to sell over 1 lakh crore rupees car loans worth 9,000 crore rupees via pass-through certificates to manage its credit deposit ratio. Now, shares of Hindustan Unilever ended the day nearly 3% in the red after the Bombay High Court refused to hear its plea challenging a tax demand. The FMCG company had received a tax demand of nearly 1,000 crore rupees over its acquisition of drinks brand Horlicks in 2020. The IT department claimed that HUL failed to comply with the income tax provisions, which mandates tax deduction at source for acquiring a trademark registered in India. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky for bilateral talks in New York. On the sidelines of a United Nations event, PM Modi reiterated his support for peaceful resolution of the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian president expressed gratitude for India's clear support of their sovereignty and territorial integrity. PM Modi also addressed the United Nations Summit of the Future. The Prime Minister emphasized that only coordinated global action can help curb terrorism and cyber threats.
वैश्विक शांति और सुरक्षा के लिए एक तरफ आतंकवाद जैसा बड़ा खतरा है, तो दूसरी तरफ साइबर, मैरीटाइम, स्पेस जैसे अनेक संघर्ष के नए नए मैदान भी बन रहे हैं। इन सभी विषयों पर मैं जोर देकर कहूंगा कि ग्लोबल एक्शन मस्ट मैच global ambition.
Now, cash-strapped airline SpiceJet has finalized its settlement with Engine Lease Finance Corporation. The lessor had initially claimed $16.7 million from the airline, however, agreed to settle for an undisclosed amount, which was much lower than its initial claim. This settlement comes days after the airline raised 3,000 crore rupees via a qualified institutional placement. More from the aviation space. Boeing has proposed a 30% hike in wages to its striking workers over the next 4 years. The company has called this proposal its best and final offer. In a letter sent to union officials, the U.S. company also offered to reinstate a performance bonus, improve retirement benefits, and double a ratification bonus to $6,000 if the workers accept this proposal by Friday. With that, it's time now for a short break. But coming up, Karnataka High Court upholds governor's decision to sanction a probe against Chief Minister Sitaramayya in the alleged Mysuru Urban Development Authority scam. Details when we come back. Welcome back. Now, Karnataka High Court upheld governor's decision to sanction a probe against Chief Minister Sitaramayya in the alleged Mysuru Urban Development Authority scam. The court, while dismissing Sitaramayya's application, said that the governor can take independent decisions in exceptional circumstances.
So BJP is trying to dislodge our government through money power and also through Operation Kamala, but they could not succeed. I'm not afraid of the conspiracy hatched out by both BJP and JDS, because people of Karnataka are with our party.
Bharatiya Janata Party and number of activists in Karnataka were the ones that exposed the scam, the Muda land scam, that the Siddaramaiah family was involved in and benefited from. And this court order is a very important order because it sends a very strong signal to political leaders like Siddaramaiah, who for years have been, in a sense, free to loot, free to scam in Karnataka, thinking that there are no consequences.
See, there is no question. My chief minister has not done anything wrong. He is not involved with any scam. It is a political conspiracy by the BJP to all of us, to all the opposition leaders in the country. This is what is going on. So there is no question of my chief minister has done anything wrong. They are creating problem. We stand by him. We support him. He is doing a good work for the country, for the party, and for the state.
26 seats go to polls in Phase 2 of Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections tomorrow. 239 candidates, including former Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, J&K BJP Chief Ravinder Raina, and J&K Congress's President Tariq Hamid Kara, are in the fray. Now to the Supreme Court. The Apex Court dismissed Punjab government's application against a High Court order that junked amended rules of Punjab's NRI MBBS quota. The government has widened the definition of NRI candidates and also made relatives of NRIs eligible under this quota. The court slammed the Punjab government, saying that this opens doors for potential misuse and they should put an end to the NRI quota. The Maharashtra Labour Department has inspected Ernst & Young's office in Pune following the death of a chartered accountant due to work pressure. The department's labour officials have said that they have reviewed various documents related to 26-year-old Anna Sebastian Perail at the office. EY has also been requested to submit the same documents to the department within 7 days. The inspection was prompted by a letter from Perail's mother, who alleged that Anna's death was triggered by work-related stress. Well, here's the big exclusive of the day. Business tycoon and philanthropist Bill Gates calls himself a salesman for Gavi, the global organization that works towards increasing access to immunization in poor countries. In a conversation with Shireen Bhan, Gates, who is also the co-founder of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, said that he has been given the responsibility to raise $9 billion in funding for the Vaccine Alliance. Gates also spoke about his plans to use artificial intelligence to boost healthcare. Take a look.
You know, you've got coalitions like Gavi coming up for replenishment. Do you worry that it's just not going to have the funding available or necessary?
Certainly, I do worry about that. I'm, a salesman for Gavi. They've given me a $9 billion quota, and I'm worried that I'm not going to. They're going to fire me, I'm afraid. No, it's a worthy cause. As the foundation looks back on its 25 years, although there have been a lot of amazing things. Helping with Gavi, helping to found it and support it, engage with it, is the top of our list. So it would be almost criminal for Gavi not to get fully funded and provide these vaccines to all the world's children. It's applied to in the rich world for those who are well off. And what we'd like to do this time with AI is make sure both in terms of discovering new interventions for nutrition or vaccines or drugs and helping give people health advice, you know, in voice in their native language, that we actually bring these AI advances to those most in need.
Well, you can catch the entire conversation at 6 p.m. today. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Business 360. More news and updates continue right here on CNBC-TV18.